Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, this is Rahul, your Filmi Baniya, and today I'm back after a break of almost 2 weeks. I was stuck up in other businesses and other issues related to work. But today I'm back here to talk to you about something which has just happened a few hours ago. So, the new Golden Globes 2020 Awards nominations list has been out and live on the internet now. One can look at them. And so I wanted to share my perspective on how Golden Globes nominations this year have stacked up. And just for starters, my friends who don't know much about award shows in the US, see the Golden Globes are actually produced by an organization called the Hollywood Foreign Press Association in Los Angeles. So what is the basic difference between Golden Globes and the Oscars is that Golden Globes nominate people in different varied categories in film as well as television. On the other hand, Oscars is done by the Academy of Motion Pictures, which only rewards efforts in motion pictures. So if you look at it, Golden Globe is like a road to the Oscars. It always happens 2 months before the Oscars. And so how it's different than the Oscars is that there are multiple categories for actors to be nominated in. So there is a Best Actor Actress Award in drama, in musical or comedy. So that's like 2 areas. And of course, then there is television, which includes, supporting actors, Best Actor, and something which really, basically this award show totally encompasses the entire spectrum of content creation all over the world. And they also have international categories of international films. So let's talk about who swept what in terms of nomination. Now, a big thing which I see is that The Irishman expectedly snagged close to 5 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor, Director and Screenplay. But the interesting thing about The Irishman is that you have Joe Pesci, who has been nominated in the category of Best Supporting Actor, but you also have Al Pacino as well in the Supporting Actor category. And that's what really makes it really interesting, is that you have Al Pacino and Joe Pesci both for Best Supporting Actor, but no nomination for Robert De Niro in the Best Lead Actor. And of course there is Best Picture, Director, Screenplay, Steven Zalian, Martin Scorsese. It was all expected. But something which really stole the imagination is Noah Baumbach's romantic drama Marriage Story, starring Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. Really, over the top. They got 6 nominations. Quite interesting. Something never happened for a love story like this in a long, long time. And then there is, of course, the usual suspects. We have Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which has 5 nominations. And last but not the least, the original breakout star of the year, Joker, which has 4 nominations. Although I thought it should have at least 5 or 6, but they got 4. And Hildur Gudnadottir, who did the original score, she stacks up as the best original score in motion picture. I think she should win it. And then of course there is Joaquin Phoenix, Todd Phillips, and there is obviously the nuance value of the Joker, because it is the most profitable film ever made for the comic book genre, made at $62 million, grossing over $1.1 billion on the box office. In the television space as well, we got a lot of interesting nominations. I was really surprised to see Succession taking multiple nominations. I've never seen the show, but I've heard something really amazing about a family business in the US. And of course, there is a concerted effort to look at a very wide-ranging content space when you look at this year's nominations. So the other area which is really popular is the animated Best Motion Picture category. And not to mention there's Toy Story 4, Missing Link, The Lion King, How to Train Your Dragon, Hidden World, and Frozen 2. And I was just having a look at this entire list, and as I speak to you, something very, very striking came out, that they got Marriage Story for the Best Motion Picture. Now you have to remember, Best Motion Picture drama, and it's not even like lighthearted, it's drama. And it's stacking up against competition like 1917, Joker, The Irishman, The Two Popes. And so what is the big deal? So the big deal is, out of the 5 Best Picture contenders, 3 are produced by Netflix and 2 are produced by studios. Warner Brothers is Joker and Universal's 1917. It's quite interesting. Netflix, and then again, has the Best Motion Picture in Comedy. Dolomite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy. So Netflix is really, taking the studios head on when it comes to content. And something which I was really surprised to see was Rami Malek's performance as an actor, best actor in a television series drama, after his many years of run in Mr. Robot. So again, for Mr. Robot, he gets nominated. But I think in television, I'm more tilted towards Barry, starring Bill Hader. It's actually the breakout show of the year, and anybody will tell you that. Then there is Fleabag by Amazon, which is doing really well. And I would highly recommend Fleabag to people. It's phenomenally written, beautiful, beautiful. Performances and writing by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. And this is quite interesting. And then, of course, there's this whole, the best part is if you look at the Best Television Limited Series Motion Picture Made for Television category. So limited series, out of the 5 nominations, includes Catch-22, Chernobyl, Force Verdum, The Loudest Voice, and Unbelievable. Now, out of these 5, 2 are streaming services, Hulu and Netflix. Hulu is, of course, not in India, but you can see the difference. And, of course, television also has Chernobyl. You have Jared Harris for Best Actor, Emily Watson for Best Actress. And then, of course, you have Chernobyl actually doing really good something really, really interesting is that Chernobyl has Stellan Skarsgård as in supporting role as well. And at the same time, there is Henry Winkler, who did a phenomenal job in Barry. So here's my perspective. So the real breakout movies in the Golden Globes is Irishman, Joker, Marriage Story, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So they're really evenly poised. And I see this time the HFPA, the production body behind the Golden Globes, has, how do I say, they haven't really gone after, movies about color and race, as there was this big issue a few years ago that they are just looking at, people of white and Caucasian descent. They're not looking at actors who are in colored category. But so even if you look at the Best Actor category, you have Jonathan Pryce, Joaquin Phoenix, Adam Driver, Antonio Banderas, Christian Bale. Now there are no blacks here, African Americans, with all due respect. And even in Best Actress category, if you look at you have Renée Zellweger, and you have you have basically got, just hold on for a second. Yeah, Cynthia Erivo is a black actress, but the rest of all 4 of them are essentially white. And I think that's something which they need to take back home, and because you have to remember that this is a very, very evenly poised entertainment industry. You have people of color. You have Lily Singh, who's doing really amazing work as Saturday Night Live host. She's not an Indian American. She's not basically just. She's a person of color as well. So I would say they could have been a little more balanced. But of course, the prominent snub was Little Women. I really hoped that this would do really well. But I think the the bottom line is Netflix has really dominated the Golden Globes this year, with Marriage Story snagging 6, Irishman snagging 5. You're talking about 11 nominations just in the motion picture category. So it's totally the age of disruption, and you can expect much more coming your way. And I will definitely talk about once the awards are out. The Golden Globes will basically come on. I think they will be telecasting live in India on Star. They did it last year, and I think it's on the 5th of January. You have the Golden Globes, coming out live. I think yes, NBC is going to broadcast it, and Ricky Gervais is going to host it for the 5th time. But yes, all in all, I think it's slightly balanced. I wouldn't say fully balanced, but of course, you have a whole lot of people, even in the Best Actor category. You have Joaquin Phoenix in the drama category, Joaquin Phoenix, Christian Bale, Jonathan Pryce, Antonio Banderas, and we were really, really surprised why they didn't get De Niro for the Best Actor and Adam Sandler, De Niro for Irishman, Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems. Otherwise, I think it's going to be fun to see the Golden Globes this year. Let me know what you think about this podcast, and many thanks for listening. This is Rahul, your Filmi Baniya. Thank you.